Hello and welcome to a new episode of the Kate and Eric Show podcast, brought to you by faith, family, friends, and freedom. I'd just like to welcome everybody to the show today. Welcome everybody who is listening for the first time, and thank you so much to everybody who does listen. Of course, you can find me. I have to go through all my socials so you can see my handsome face other places. There's a Facebook page, Twitter, or X, excuse me, sorry, I dead named it. TikTok, YouTube, True Social, Kate and Eric Show. On all of those things, you can see the things that I have not been able to get to. Excuse me, on this show. There's so much to get through. Again, we'll talk about the Israel update and a whole bunch of other things. Biden finally made it to Israel. I guess that's an important place for him to go. But anyway, so just thank you to everybody. Kind of a fun thing here with this show is the website that I go through. It tracks, where everybody is and where you all are as I listen to the, as you listen, and shows the cities and all that kind of fun stuff. So I was notified earlier this week that we have finally hit there's different achievements, and it's kind of fun to watch all that stuff, but finally hit 250 downloads, so thank you very much. Doing this thing has been really fun, so it's been really, really great, so I really appreciate it. All the episodes that have been up here, this is episode 26 here. We are in 4 countries, so appreciate that, and 56 cities. So it is really, really awesome to look at that and just go look to see where everybody's listening around the country, places that I know people, obviously, and places that I do not know people. So it's really, really cool. And I'm like, oh, that's so awesome. This city here, or that city there, So it is just really great. So I really, really appreciate it because there are more of us that support truth and right, I believe, than there are that don't. So anyway, so just like everybody, welcome to the show today. There is a lot to cover. I have a lot to get to. Of course, with everything going on in Israel, that's just horrible, and it's just the amazing atrocities that have happened, and now somehow they're the bad guys. It's like, hey, Israel's the bad guys now. So I don't know. It's insanity. But of course, do the big sports update here. BYU got their butts kicked by TCU this week, so that's all I'm going to say about that. We do have, I don't even know who the heck we play this week, but anyway, the 49ers shouldn't have lost to the Browns, but they did. The Eagles lost to the Jets. And then, it's insanity. But the MLB, there's only 4 teams left now. Phillies are rolling Arizona. They're up 2 games. People can say, oh, you can say the same thing about Texas with the Astros. No. Yeah, no, we're the World Series champs. ALCS appearances 7 times in a row now. So, yeah, we'll pull things around. They did win last night here in Arlington, which is great. So the series is 2-1 Texas still. But, we had El Riptile, I think that's how they say it. But Christian Javier pitched a great game last night for us. So yeah, we'll get this thing turned around, and because we've outscored Texas here in Arlington and done really well. So, and then of course there's NHL going on. That's a new thing for me, and I'm trying to keep up with it, but not doing a very good job. And then that's kind of the sports update. So let's just get into this Israel stuff here in today's show. It's just amazing. I found, was looking all over, I think I mentioned this last week as well, all over social media, all over the world, that there are just immense amount of people that are just all for Palestine. They have their stupid, I can't think of it right off the top, but it's like, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, is what their little chant is. But yeah, that's just, it's great. So what does that mean about Israel? People have been asked that and they just can't answer the question. They don't want to answer that question. Like, okay, so what happens to Israel if they're free? And if the Palestinians want to be free, then stop supporting Hamas, stop supporting Hezbollah, stop supporting these terrorist organizations in your country or territory or whatever it is. Stop supporting these people. Stop allowing them to have their weapons and ammunition and everything inside your mosques, inside your whatever, inside your homes. Stop allowing that. The big news is there, that was spread around the world, which is actually turned out to be a lie, is that Israel bombed a hospital in Gaza. No, the Israelites don't just sit there and bomb hospitals. They don't bomb things just to kill people. And it actually turned out to be that it was Hamas that did it. Their rocket was fired, and then it went haywire, and they bombed themselves. So just the lies, and it's just absolutely amazing. It's just astounding. I've seen videos where there are in Yemen, especially, there was tens of thousands of people. Of course, they had the big Palestinian flags flying around and all that kind of stuff. And it's just, I don't understand it. I mean, this has been the worst attack on the Jews since the Holocaust, since Hitler decided to kill over 6 million Jews. This attack 2 weeks ago, or a week and a half ago now, is the worst that they have ever had since then. It's equivalent to our, here in America, our 9/11. It's just astounding. It is just an astounding thing. And you've got people here in America. They're all over the world that are supporting the Palestinians. They flipped the script so fast. I've seen videos today where there are kids in a San Francisco high school. They're marching down the halls screaming, "Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine!" What is going on? This is just absolutely atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. So I have a whole bunch of clips to play with that, and then you have Biden on 60 Minutes acting stupid, and then of course he was at some other gathering, and where he talked about guns and how it's just liberals and Democrats don't have any freaking idea what if they're going to sit there and want to ban guns, actually know what the crap you're talking about. So yeah, so here's a little clip of what he had to say at that event. So I'm just realizing I believe I played that last week, so I'm going to play something else. So here are a bunch of Democratic clips, talking about, it's a montage. I apologize if it's kind of obnoxious. I pulled it from something else, but it gets the point across. So here they all are in their brilliance and intelligence.
30 caliber clip to disperse with 30 bullets within half a second. This is what an AR-15 sounds like. General Mark Hertling served in the U.S. Army for 37 years, so he knows what the AR-15, which used to be a weapon of war... No! And he has strong feelings about the semi-automatic assault-style rifle, which is the precursor to a weapon currently used by the military. Wrong. M4.
The truth of the matter is, they look almost exactly the same.
Is this it?
A lot of people will buy this just because it's cool.
Originally built for the battlefield,
Wrong.
a defining characteristic of the AR-15 is the speed and power of the bullet.
Yeah, no.
Now those are single shots. If I wanted to fire this on full semi-automatic, 90% of the time I have no idea what you're talking about. Now I will probably hit the target. personal opinion, you have to receive a whole lot of training to use this weapon. And this weapon in the wrong hands, full semi-automatic, can be more dangerous than most weapons because of its capability to do a lot of damage in a short period of time and be irreversible.
Okay. So I'll post that on one of my socials, and you can see the brilliance. So I mean, they're coming for you. You know, they want to come for the guns because it's the one thing that if they can get a hold of, it will be, you know, that they can do whatever they want to us. So it's just stupid, just absolute stupid, just stupidity. But let me get back to the, you know, because if without the guns here in America, if, you know, the average, you know, people didn't have, it's the biggest, non-military force is the American people with all the guns that we have, because that's our God-given right. But let me get to his brilliance. And I almost forgot. Yesterday there was an insurrection at the Capitol. Hamas sympathizers and rallies and pro-Palestinian marched all over the Capitol, into the Capitol, not the actual Capitol itself, but they were all around it. They were harassing congressmen, and they went into the rotunda area of part of the Capitol complex, and they attacked police, and some of them were arrested. But will the media say anything that this was an insurrection? Will they say anything that this was a terrorist act? I bet they won't. I guarantee they won't, because it doesn't quite fit that narrative. You know, the FBI, DOJ, they'll sit there and hunt down a whole bunch of people that were at the Capitol on January 6th, you know, grandmas and just people just walking around, not causing any problems, just being there at that particular time. And they'll come after them with the full extent of the law. But all these people that were hit there yesterday doing it, nothing will happen. But Biden decided to make his trip to Israel, and kind of what he had to say. Let me pull. If there's some repeats of things, I apologize, but there's some clips that have longer segments than others, so I apologize if there's some repeats. But here is, he sat down with the president or prime minister, whatever they call him, Benjamin Netanyahu in Israel, and this is what he had to say.
The 7th, Hamas murdered 1,400 Israelis, maybe more. This is in a country of fewer than 10 million people. This would be equivalent to over 50,000 Americans murdered in a single day. That's 29/11s. That is why October 7th is a...
Apologize for that. I got a phone call right in the middle of this, so let me continue.
Is another day that will live in infamy. Mr. President, you rightly said that Hamas is worse than ISIS. The German chancellor who visited here yesterday said that Hamas were the new Nazis. You're both right. And just as the civilized world united to defeat the Nazis and united to defeat ISIS, the civilized world must unite to defeat Hamas. I can assure you, Mr. President, Israel is united to defeat Hamas. And we will defeat Hamas and remove this terrible threat from our lives. The forces of civilization will prevail for our sake, for your sake, for peace and security in our region and in the world. Mr. President, for the people of Israel, there's only one thing better than having a true friend like you standing with Israel.
So if you haven't quite figured it out yet, this is Benjamin Netanyahu, because he can actually speak coherently. So, you know, Biden and him are sitting in the chair next to each other. So this is Benjamin Netanyahu, because he can actually speak, unlike President Poop His Pants.
And that is having you standing in Israel. Your visit here is the first visit of an American president in Israel at a time of war. It is deeply the depth of your personal commitment to Israel. It speaks to the depth of your personal commitment to the future of the Jewish people and the one and only Jewish state. So I know I speak for all the people of Israel when I say, thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for standing with Israel today, tomorrow, and always.
Mr. Prime Minister, thank you very much.
Oh.
I wanted to be here today for a simple reason. I wanted the people of Israel, the people of the world, to know where the United States stands.
Oh, okay.
I've had my great Secretary of State here. He's been here for a lot. But I wanted to personally come and make that clear. Terrorist group Hamas has slaughtered, as has been pointed out, over 1,300 people. And it's not hyperbole, it's just slaughtered. And including 31 Americans as part of that. And they've taken scores of people hostage.
Okay, just on that fact there, sorry, I'm going to pause it again. But 31 dead Americans, where's the outrage of the American people for that? No, but you've got them all going around our cities and schools, protesting for these scumbag terrorists. You know, it's just amazing what Benjamin Netanyahu said. I mean, that would be like 50. What did he say? 50 some odd thousand Americans dead. You know, comparatively, 9/11s. Just kind of let that sink in a little bit, because that's, you know, the scale of what had happened, you know, a week and a half ago to them. 50 some odd thousand dead Americans. I mean, that would just be absolutely atrocious. But Israel's the bad guys here, you know, according to all these idiots that are running around in all, you know, major cities around the world.
Including children. You said, imagine what those children hiding from Hamas are thinking. It's beyond my comprehension to be able to imagine what they're thinking. Beyond my comprehension. The committed evils that, atrocities that make ISIS look somewhat more rational. You know, Americans are grieving with you. They really are. And Americans are worried. Americans are worried because they know this is not an easy field to navigate what you have to do. But the fact is that Israel, as they respond to these attacks, seems to me that they have to continue to ensure that you have what you need to defend yourselves. And we're going to make sure that occurs, as you know. And we have to also bear in mind that Hamas does not represent all the Palestinian people. And it has brought them only suffering. You know, years ago I asked the Secretary of State when he and I were working in the Senate to write something for me. And he said, he wrote a line that I think is appropriate. He said, it's not, we lead, not just, well, I won't go into it, I'll wait later. I'm taking too much time, but the point is this. I was deeply saddened and outraged by the explosion at the hospital in Gaza yesterday. And based on what I've seen, it appears as though it was done by the other team, not you. But there's a lot of people out there who are not sure. So we've got to overcome a lot of things. And also,
Sorry, just one more pause here, but it's just amazing. Like, for the other team, this isn't a sporting event. This isn't like, you know, oh my gosh, this isn't like a football game where the quarterback throws a pick six and, you know, or they get defense gets a touchdown, or you know, you can't score runs on baseball defense, but it's not like it's a game. These are people's lives. These are people that are evil, that are out to destroy Israel. It's not, I don't know, maybe that's just petty, but that just kind of pissed me off. When I heard that part, I was like, oh, they're playing for the other team. Oh, okay.
means encouraging
example of our power is the power of our example. It's almost as important. The world's looking. Israel has a value set like the United States does and other democracies. And they're looking to see what we're going to do. So, Mr. Prime Minister, I'm very happy to be back in Israel with you. Thank you for having me, and I'm looking forward to having a thorough discussion about where everybody goes from here. But thank you, and I want to say to the people of Israel.
Oh, sorry, cut off there, but just amazing. He's like the worst, though. Good. You know, at least he's sitting there saying we support Israel. He's not saying that we don't. So I'll give him props for that. You know, I will. I'll give him for that. Yes. Just horrific. Just absolutely horrific. It's just so sad what is going on over there. Just horrible. So there are some clips that I thought would be appropriate because I found Ben Shapiro gives about 4 myths that surround Israel and Palestine and that whole area there. And I thought it was appropriate to kind of share what he has to say there, because there are some clips in here that part of what he has to say that I like. And just kind of, I thought it was appropriate since he is a Jew, to play what he has to say. There's about the 4 myths surrounding Israel. So this is myth number 3.
Israel expelled all Palestinian Arabs from British Mandate Palestine.
Because that's the thing here. Is that everybody says that Israel's on stolen land, just like they say it's on stolen land here in America. You're on stolen land. No, in America here, no, we're not on stolen land. It's what you call conquered land. Sure, I will give them that. It's conquered land. But it's not like the Indians here were all nice and, they're not Pocahontas Indians from the Disney movie. No, they killed and slaughtered each other here as well. So it's not like it's, they took land from each other. I mean, look at what the horrible things the Aztecs did. That wasn't done by European white people. That was, the Aztecs chopped people's hearts out of their bodies as they were still alive. And, they had them beating in their hand. So, yeah, that's not like it was all innocence and stuff. But, yeah, this is the other thing here with the Palestinians and the Israelis is that Israel stole their land or they're on. So, anyway, this is just a myth that he dispels.
Is, again, a lie. Israel's founding documents asked Arabs to stay. Israel's Declaration of Independence, in the middle of an ongoing war with Arab nations, reads, quote, "We appeal, in the very midst of the onslaught launched against us now for months, to the Arab inhabitants of the State of Israel to preserve peace and participate in the upbuilding of the state on the basis of full and equal citizenship and due representation in all its provisional and permanent institutions." Debate has raged for decades over how many Arabs left the nascent State of Israel thanks to expulsion and how many left because they were told to leave by their own leaders. An estimated 250,000 to 300,000 refugees left before their homes were even in a war zone.
We didn't compel them to leave. They left on their own will, or rather...
So the guy that's speaking right now, his name is David. He was David Ben-Gurion, I think. So I don't know how to say his last name, but he was the first prime minister of Israel. So this is the clip of him. Obviously, this is not Ben Shapiro because it's an old man talking, but that's who this is.
On the will of Arab leaders, while the West Bank, even before trouble started.
The collapse of Arab society during the 1947-48 war, leaving many Arabs without a means of support, has been well documented.
Israel will do everything in its power to help the resettlement of these refugees by paying compensation and by other means.
Hundreds of thousands of these refugees ended up in the West Bank and Gaza, which remained Arab territory until 1967. Furthermore, Arab nations refused to take in hundreds of thousands of Arabs, turning their co-religionists into refugees who have maintained that status for literally decades, a situation unparalleled in human history. Fully 62% of such refugees live outside the West Bank and Gaza Strip, according to the UNRWA. Meanwhile, Israel, tiny Israel, took in over 800,000 Jews expelled from Arab lands between 1948 and 1951 and never asked for land to be returned to those Jews. Myth number 3.
So, yeah, I think that's very interesting. And let me pull up this other video here where the Arab nations around them, they don't want them either. All played it a second ago. Where is it? Crap. Hold on. I had it, but I can't find it. So just a minute. All right, it was staring me right in the face. Don't you hate that when you're looking for something and you're looking for your keys or you're looking for whatever and they're in your hand? You're like, oh, I feel like an idiot. Yep, that's how I feel. All right, here we go.
On the question on the issues of refugees coming to Jordan, and I think I can quite strongly speak on behalf not only of Jordan as a nation, but of our friends in Egypt. That is a red line. Because I think that is the plan by certain of the usual suspects to try and create de facto issues on the ground. No refugees in Jordan, no refugees in Egypt.
So, would you look at that? They don't even want them. they don't want the refugees that are coming from these areas. And that's supposed to be Israel's fault? That's Israel's fault? It baffles my mind. Just baffling. I don't understand it. But there's some other things that she has to say. Hang on. So the other thing that these, I don't even want to call them leftists, but these other idiots, they always say that, oh, Israel's just an apartheid state. No, that's what they had in South Africa. That's not what they have going on here in Israel.
Myth number 4. Israel is an apartheid state. Israel is most certainly not an apartheid state. Arab citizens of Israel have the same rights as Jewish citizens. 20% of all citizens of Israel are Arab. The vast majority of Palestinians live under Palestinian rule in the West Bank. All Arabs in the Gaza Strip lived under Hamas rule. Israel's population, again, is 20% Arab. Arab parties have sat in the Israeli government, and Arab sits on Israel's Supreme Court. There are 0 Jews living under Palestinian rule. The only apartheid state is any state of Palestine. All of these myths have consequences. All of these lies have consequences. They lead to a pseudo-sophisticated context that allows for the murder of Jews. It allows people in the West to believe that the grievances that are openly articulated by the Palestinian Authority, Islamic Jihad, and Hamas are actually about territory. Hamas openly calls for the murder of every Jew in the region. The Palestinian Authority gives actual bounties to the families of terrorists. Islamic Jihad has the same exact goals as Hamas. When evil people say they want to wipe Jews off the face of the earth, we ought to listen, not make up silly excuses as to why they don't actually mean what they say. The consequences of buying your own lies, not even their lies, your own lies, is dead Jews. Myth number 4. Israel is an apartheid state.
So he goes on and there's the videos. This is obviously after the horrendous, awful attacks in Israel, because there's video, there's parts of it, and I can post these on my other social medias, so you can enjoy them as well. But yeah, it goes on. There's pictures of the women and the children that are dead, the ones that have been taken. Yeah, it just kind of baffles my mind. I don't understand how we can sit there and watch these atrocities, and then I don't know. And then the Palestinians are, everybody around the world they've played the victim card. They're the victims. They're the ones that are oppressed. They're the ones that are whatever it is. I mean, it's just, there's a sign, there's a picture that's going around that says Queers for Palestine. You know what they do to the LGBTQI7A plus community over there? Yeah, they throw you off a roof because they can't take that. They don't stand for anything like that at all. But yeah, let's sit there and support them. But I want also to get to these other things here where you've got the wonderful Rashid Tlaib, who brought on this insurrection, the marching and the storming of the Capitol yesterday. She had a wonderful little speech. She'll sit there and she'll cry over this, but if you remember what had happened, let's just kind of go back. I know it was a week ago, so you might have forgotten. But a Fox News reporter tried to pin her down and ask her about what happened in Israel to get a response from her.
Terrorists have cut off babies' heads and burned children alive. Do you support Israel's rights to defend themselves against this brutality?
We're just going to go through there.
You can't comment about Hamas terrorists chopping off babies' heads. Congressman, do you have a comment on Hamas
Not a word.
Saying that Hamas terrorists chopping off babies' heads.
Not one word she has to say about that part.
Do you condone what Hamas has done, chopping off babies' heads, burning children alive, raping women in the street? You have no comment about children's heads being chopped off? Congressman, why do you have a Palestinian flag outside your office if you do not condone what Hamas terrorists have done to Israel? Do Israeli lives not matter to you?
So, remember that from a week ago. So this is her cackling and screaming. But yeah, here's what she had to say at the in DC. So here we go.
Hard sometimes just watching those videos, and the people telling the kids don't cry, and like let them cry,
Oh,
and they're shaking. And
they're
the
shaking.
kids telling them not to cry.
don't cry. Whoa.
They can cry. I can cry. We
I
all
can
can cry.
cry.
If
Whoa.
we're not crying, something is wrong.
It's like, oh, McDonald at a farm. Everybody can cry. Here's a cry. There's a cry. Oh, McDonald at a farm.
And so I'm telling you right now, President Biden, not all America's with you on this one. And you need to wake up and understand that. We are literally watching people commit genocide and killing the vast majority just like this. And we still stand by and say nothing. We will remember this.
We will.
All of you,
Wow.
you need to know. I swear to God, Allah, you are on the right side of history. You are. You're doing everything possible to save lives. What is wrong with that? Stop it.
So that was her passionate speech about that. I'm just tired. It's okay to cry. Everybody can cry. There's a cry. Here's a cry. Everybody's a cry. But she's upset about that, but apparently not about the Israelis being tortured and murdered and raped and killed and burned alive in their homes because they're too feeble or too whatever that they just decided to kill them all. But she's upset about that. She sure is upset about that. That's interesting. Yeah. So and her little, you're all, everybody gathered around her. Ooh, yeah, you're on the wrong side of history there. You're on the wrong side of history there, sweetheart. But so then it's just horrible. So here's another lady. I believe some students at University of North Carolina, and here's what she had to say. Wait, so all of us Hamas, right? Hold on, let's replay that. All of us Hamas. So she loves the fact that Israelis are being killed, right? This stupid idiot with she has a sign that says, "Don't be brainwashed by news." Oh my gosh. And then another brilliant congresswoman, Aleem Omar. This is what she had to say. I don't think this is recent, but this is what she had to say is the threat to America. Hold on. Time out. Hold on.
Of white men across our country.
Well,
Our country should be more fearful of white men across our country because they are actually causing most of the deaths within this country.
Oh, okay. So that's what we should be worried about. White men, because they cause most of the deaths here in this country. And they're our leaders in Congress, ladies and gentlemen. So good job there, Minnesota, and good job. I don't even know where Talib is from. Detroit. Yes, he's from Detroit. So good job, Michigan. Excellent job. Good choices. A box of rocks would have been better, but hey, maybe next time you can vote their stupid butts out of there. But a little perspective on what had also happened yesterday is Marjorie Taylor Greene and kind of what she experienced.
Have an insurrection happening in the Cannon building. This is the march outside, the Pro-Palestinian march going on outside. And then we have this happening inside of our building. I'm going to take you guys down so you can see what's happening on the third floor.
So I understand being in this is audio, but the visual is that there are people, I don't know, maybe a few hundred people, all sitting around in a circle saying ceasefire. There are no Palestinian flags, though. I'm kind of surprised. They kind of dropped the ball there on that one, so that was bad. And it's just insanity, just absolute insanity. Oh, there's one more. I'm going to share one more real quick thing here. And and then what Biden had to say about the people in he said the same thing when he was in Israel as he did here on 60 Minutes.
Fighting already on the northern Israeli border, and I wonder what is your message to Hezbollah and its backer, Iran? Don't come across the border. Don't escalate this war.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah, I said it. I said don't. Don't you do it. You'll regret it. I don't know what they're going to regret, but don't do it. You don't want to do it. You don't want to mess with the Bidens. It's just awful. But here are some people in, I think, New York City. It's just astounding. I can't believe it. It's just astounding. There's a theory that I have heard where people, when the Mayan calendar ended in 2012, that was supposed to be the end of the world because the Mayans predicted it. That maybe it really did, and we're all on some weird alternate timeline that doesn't make any sense. Where up is down, left is right, hot is cold, cold is hot, right is now wrong, and wrong is now right. That's the world that we live in. But maybe it's just because it was predicted in the scriptures and the prophets and the others that saw our time were like, yeah, this is going to be insanity. People are going to go insane during the latter days here that we are experiencing. So maybe that's just all it is. It's just prophecy, or we're on a weird timeline that. And can we go back to the other one where things made sense?
Not terrorists, man. We're just protecting our own land. That's it.
There is nothing wrong with that term.
What is the end goal here? The end goal is to free Palestine?
There cannot be an Israeli. There cannot be an ethno-supremacist state.
So what does Joe Biden need to do? Joe Biden.
Joe Biden making it worse.
America first. America.
I will 100% agree with that guy there. Joe Biden is 100% making everything way worse.
First, not Israel first. I spoke to a guy before this, and he said America first. You weren't happy with that. Why?
Israel would not exist without America.
So no America first for you.
No.
Are you an American?
Yes.
And you don't want to put America first?
No.
Then what the hell are you doing in this country if you don't like it? Get out! Yeah, that was a little loud. I'm usually not that loud. But if you don't like it here so well, if you don't like it so much, why are you here? Go off to your little Palestine. Go off to your Arab countries. Go off to wherever the crappy you're from. And live there. Go away. Leave us alone then. Nobody's making you stay here. Nobody's keeping you here. You can go. There's flights that are flying over there. Go fly. Bye-bye. See ya. The founding fathers were right when they said we shouldn't be involved in European wars. We shouldn't be involved in the mess and the crap that's going on over in Europe. Yeah, they were 100% right on that, because look at the mess that is going on. And I'm 100% to give support to Israel on this, though. What the Palestinians and the terrorists and Iran and all that, they want to wipe Israel from the map. But so I do support giving aid to Israel on that, because that is genocide. That's Holocaust. They sit there and like whine about it, but if you don't like it here so much and you absolutely hate everything that we stand for, that we are founded on Judeo-Christian values, and you hate that, go away. Bye, Felicia. That makes me so mad. It just makes me so freaking mad. Go away then. See you later. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. I think, well, you know what I said last week. Just continue to pray for Israel. Pray for these people. Pray for that area. And quite frankly, pray that the majority of people in the world still have common sense, still see right is right and wrong is wrong and good is good and evil is evil. Because I really do. I really think that there are more of us that think that way than there are them that think the other way. I really honestly do, because maybe I'm just being too optimistic, and you're like, Caden, come on, you're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. But I really do. I really think that there are more of us that are good. It may seem like there's not, because the marches and things around the country, but I really, really honestly think that there are more good than there are bad people. But again, if you hate this country so much, you hate what we're founded on, you hate everything about us, go away, leave us alone. Bye-bye. And you can take President Pooped His Pants with you, because he doesn't like us here. He doesn't like it either. And the whole administration, all of them. Bye-bye. Anyway, well, hopefully you've enjoyed the show. Like I said, you can follow me anywhere you listen to the podcast. Anywhere you listen to your podcast, I'm on all of the platforms. And then also all of the social medias, Facebook, X, TikTok, Twitter, or Twitter's the same thing as X, YouTube, True Social, all that kind of stuff, all that good stuff. The Caden Eric Show, or just Caden Eric Show, but yeah. Go there, check out some of my other content that I just, for the interest of time, can't get to on this show. So there's the other things you can listen to. And again, thank you so much to everybody who listens. I really appreciate it. It is great to see where everybody's listening. It's really, really fun to see all the different cities and countries and everything like that. So it's really cool. Really, really cool. So thank you very much. I really, really appreciate it. It means a lot. Honestly, it does. So please continue that. Like, subscribe, follow, share, rate 5 stars. Only Caden Eric Show 5 stars, please. And then, the algorithm will do its thing, and more people will be able to see it. So I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Pray for the world. Pray. If you're Jewish, Muslim, Christian, pray for the world. Any other religion too. We'll accept prayers. But appreciate it. Appreciate you guys, and I will talk with you next week. Bye-bye.